are talking Freakish Season 2. 10 episodes from Hulu about this kind of young adult zombie apocalypse type scenario. There may be mild spoilers in this review. We're talking about Season 2. Takes place, pretty much straight after Season 1. And our group of kids who are kind of holed up in this school meet another group of survivors who are kind of holed up in a different building. These actually include the two offspring of the Kellers, which are the people who own the chemical plant, which has exploded and kind of made everyone kind of turn into zombies. One of them is played by Saxon Sharbino, and she is this impossibly attractive girl who seems to have permanent makeup despite the zombie apocalypse. And they are the kind of the rich kids who kind of have contempt for everyone, and everyone has contempt for them because they kind of blame the parents, etc. But we do also encounter some other groups of people as well. We see a kind of a small group of people who appear to have been experimented on by the chemical Keller place, led by kind of Jake Busey. And then also we get to know another character as well, who's also kind of separately been living throughout this kind of thing. This season actually addresses some of the critiques that I had of the first season. For example, what the government are doing in this whole kind of mess. I kind of like that, and because of the kind of the mix of characters, it actually affords this season to kill off a couple of kind of like established characters from the first season. So I kind of quite liked it. So it kind of does add for that kind of that sense of danger where you feel nearly anyone can basically kind of get killed, and there is one quite surprising death, I have to say. So I kind of quite appreciated that, and having these other kind of we have really two main other groups. So there's really three groups of people now, and they actually add this kind of like extra layer of kind of drama that's going to happen between all these kind of things. So that I quite liked. The problems I have with this season are very similar to the first season. There's a lot of kind of manufactured drama here. There is a lot of things happening and people taking the wrong end of their stick, and someone sees someone, in a compromising position exactly at the wrong time. And that happens more than once, and it just which leads to kind of wires being crossed and things like that. So this is very much, you have this kind of this manufactured drama, basically. And you kind of, we learn this whole thing is taking place over a kind of weeks, about just over a week, I think they say. But it kind of amused me because they're thinking, oh, there's all this kind of relationship drama going on between the people, and then, oh, I was with this person, but then I was with this person, I'm not with them anymore. Well, this is taking place after a week, and you're saying you were in a relationship with someone for for a few days? Doesn't count, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's like a generational thing or whatever, but I'm feeling old now, but people are going, yeah, I was totally with the other person, but now I'm not, and now I'm with someone else, thinking, you could in the spaces of a week, why do you even care? Anyway, there you go. I do feel the zombies are almost put on a bit of a back burner in this season. They don't seem quite as in the forefront as they were in the kind of the first season. Obviously, they are there, and there are kind of a few new wrinkles involved there. But it mostly seems to be the conflict between the kind of the human characters. And then we kind of learn of a kind of a larger conspiracy, which I did kind of like with the actual the government, and this kind of the company itself as well. A lot of the new characters, some are clearly canon fodder because they get very little kind of characterization, and you think you're dead, and sure enough they die as well. This show has a seemingly does not like to keep its adult characters alive for very long. So whenever we get an adult character come onto the show, expect them to die pretty quickly. I did quite like the two brother and sister who are the kind of the kids of the Kellers. Although I do question where, especially Saxon Sharbino's character is always perfectly made up, and thinking, it's the zombie apocalypse woman. Where are you getting this makeup from? Anyway, and I guess they might carry it around. It's only been a week, as they say. But anyway, I did quite like the character. I thought that was quite fun, and she has some quite. She comes across as this kind of bitchy rich teen and all that, and I think it makes her quite a fun character, admittedly. But I did kind of like the way this kind of builds to a larger conspiracy. That's all very intriguing. There's the mild spoilers here. We get towards the end of the season, and we kind of get into a kind of a government-controlled area, and that I really loved. I kind of thought it was all pretty good, and it kind of it really does raise questions. think, man, it raises the stakes because how they're going to get out of it. But I really just don't like all this kind of manufactured drama just so people can have some kind of basic backstory or kind of special thing that they either can or can't do. It just kind of like, it just becomes across this typical kind of young adult teenage fodder at times because of that. Overall, I still kind of enjoyed this season, and I kind of like, I actually think it does improve in some ways by kind of expanding the mythology somewhat, but I feel it really is bogged down by this kind of like silly YA drama stuff. Overall, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 now. I think it's actually quite a fun series overall. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.